Merry Christmas, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to our online Christmas Day service for 2021. My name is Jose. I'm one of the pastors here at East Sydney Community Christian Church, and I must begin this service by acknowledging this isn't quite what we originally had in mind for this service. But certain things have happened, and we've decided to take our service online for this day. And we thank you so much for understanding. This service will be a very simple service. We'll be led in songs by our lovely Simone, and then I'll share a brief Christmas message on the topic of the Christmas prophecy from the book of Isaiah. And then afterwards we'll have a response song, and now I'd like to invite us then to join us for a bit of fellowship online over Zoom afterwards, so that we can keep you up to date with what has happened and what our plans are for doing church going forward. Now, part of the original plan for the service was that it would actually be a combined service with English and Mandarin parts. Now, in order to keep some of that sense of combined fellowship, what we've done is that we've still kept the lyrics for the songs that we're about to sing in English and in Chinese, and a special thank you to Auntie Chen, who helped to source the Chinese lyrics. And for my sermon, for the message that I'm about to share later, Uncle Boon Kiat was kind enough to provide a full translation of my message in Chinese, for which if you are a Mandarin speaker, you should have received, that will help you follow along. So a special thank you to Uncle Boon Kiat as well. And I do hope and pray that despite the challenges that we're facing right now with COVID and the need to take things online, that indeed on this day, on this Christmas day, that it really would be a happy and a joyous occasion that helps us to remember that all the good things that we can enjoy and all the wonderful people that we can spend that time with, it's all because of our Lord Jesus, whose birthday we remember today. And with that, I'd like to hand over to Simone, who will lead us in songs.
Long lay the world in sin. Jesus, Lord of the world. Jesus, Lord of the
Merry Christmas. We are so glad to have you with us to celebrate the birthday of our Lord Jesus on this Christmas day. Many of us, after the service, are looking forward to food and to presents, to family and to friends. And yet for the moment, all of us have taken the time to worship God and to celebrate the birthday of our King Jesus this morning. Now, for the regulars amongst us, you will know that we have spent most of our December thinking about the topic of prophecy. And so as I speak for the next 13 or 14 minutes or so, I want to refresh and to encourage us by way of reminder, by sharing from a great Christmas prophecy that was spoken in ages past. This prophecy comes from the book of Isaiah. Its message has moved the hearts of millions who have heard it ever since. Its words speak with power and with hope, and it speaks to a world that still needs to hear these words today. Because this prophecy of Isaiah is a promise that God will bring about something new, something exciting, something good. A new kind of king, a new kind of world, and a new kind of people. And this prophecy is also an invitation to us. Whether we've been following Jesus for many years, or whether we want to start following Jesus today. This prophecy is an invitation to us all to honor this new king, to enjoy the world he will rule, and to join the people he will lead. Because through the prophecy of Isaiah, God promises that this arrival of this king will be so great that everything else will be darkness compared to him. For in Isaiah chapter 9 verse 2 it says, "The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned." And his coming will be an occasion for joy, as people rejoice at the harvest, as warriors rejoice when dividing the plunder. Because as God had done in ages past in the days of the victory against Midian, once again God will raise up a king who shall set his people free from oppression and from slavery. For he will come to shatter the yoke that burdens them, the bar across the shoulders, the rod of their oppressor. And in the place of conflict and warfare and death, this king will bring life and peace. For every implement of war and every memory of his horror will be destined for burning, fuel for the fire. All these things shall come to pass, not through the work of our own hands, not by the establishment of some institution or by the invention of some new technology. But all of this shall come to pass because God will give it to us. He'll make it come to pass. God will give humanity a great gift. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And unlike every other king or emperor or president or prime minister whose reign or whose term of office must come to an end, unlike all of those other leaders, verse 7, of the greatness of his government and peace, there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. And this is just a small sample of the many great Christmas prophecies that are found in the Bible. They are all about God providing for his people a new kind of king to bring about a new kind of world and to form a new kind of people. And they are an invitation to us today to honor this new king, to enjoy this new world he is forming, and to join the new people that he will rule forever and ever. So the question is, do we want these things? Shall we put our faith in these promises once again this Christmas. Now, to help us decide, let's hear some more about what this king will be like. Just a little bit further on in Isaiah chapter 11, he writes this concerning this king. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and of understanding, the Spirit of counsel and of might, the Spirit of the knowledge and fear of the Lord, and he will delight in the fear of the Lord. Unlike so many other leaders who are led by appearances or swayed by what people may say or by what they hear, unlike all of them, this king will not judge by what he sees with his eyes or decide by what he hears with his ears, but with righteousness he will judge the needy. With justice he will give decisions for the poor of the earth. And not only shall he have the wisdom to discern what is right from what is wrong, but he shall have the power to uphold what is right and to condemn what is wrong. He shall have the power to execute his judgments even upon those who would shake their fist and fight against him. He will strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, with the breath of his lips. He will slay the wicked. Righteousness will be his belt, and faithfulness the sash around his waist. Do we want this king as our king? And do we want to live in the world that this king will bring about? Because it is a profoundly different world from the one that we know all too well. Where in the place of war, in that place there shall be peace, and in the place of death there shall be life. The wolf will lie with the lamb, the leopard will lie down with the goat, the calf and the lion and the yearling together, and a little child will lead them. The cow will feed with the bear, their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox. The infant will play near the cobra's den, and the young child will put its hand in the viper's nest. The old order of things shall pass away, and in the place of violence and of ignorance, verse 9, they will neither harm nor destroy on all my holy mountain, for the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. Again, do we want to live in this new world? And finally, will we come to him, to come to this king, in faith? Shall we join ourselves with his people? 4 verse 10, in that day, the root of Jesse, this new king, will stand as a banner for the peoples. The nations will rally to him, and his resting place will be glorious. And there too, in that resting place, we who join him will find rest and peace for our souls too. And so if indeed we long for all these things, for this new king, for this new world, to be with his new people, then let us rejoice. For it is on this Christmas day that we remember the birth of our Lord Jesus, in whom all these good things find their fulfillment in him. And on this day, of the 2021st year of his reign, we give thanks for the work that our Lord Jesus has begun in our lives and in our world. And as we celebrate the rest of this day, with food and presents, and with family and with friends, we do so knowing that these good things are just a foretaste of the even better things that are coming. So do not forget and do not give up. Because as men and women who put our faith in these Christmas prophecies, in these promises, our hope is that one day we might all enjoy them in all their fullness with our very own eyes forever and ever. God bless you, stay safe, and have a very Merry Christmas.